rolling on from yesterday's what do you want to call it, upheaval, shall we call it. Bungie has probably had one of the shortest TWABs we've ever had, and of course they do their typical thing where they ignore what the player base is talking about. Friends, I am Worm. Thank you for joining me today, and we're going to talk about this because this is incredibly frustrating. That Bungie is radio silent. For those of y'all who missed it earlier this week, Cross made a video talking about microtransactions in Destiny 2. Very long video. We had our thoughts on that video in our own video yesterday, but you can go watch. But yeah, they had the TWAB come out today, and this TWAB was possibly one of the shortest TWABs like Bungie has ever done. In fact, let me pull it up over here. One of the shortest TWABs that Bungie has ever had. It is literally like it has some known issues. It has the talking about fishing, and I want to say it mentioned the whole kabobble of the community member who had some cool art that was essentially, I don't want to say stolen, but it was used by Bungie in the most recent cutscene. But I wanted to highlight this issue because once again, Bungie is just blatantly ignoring things that the players are worried about and concerned about, and it's disgusting, quite frankly. Yeah, it's disgusting. Bungie, Cross released this video. It's such a good video. I cannot speak any higher about how good that video is, and you should definitely go watch if you haven't seen it already, and then go watch our video yesterday because we also talked about our thoughts on it and stuff like that. But Bungie's quiet. Bungie has not brought it up. They have not said anything about it, which, we didn't expect them to. But it's almost embarrassing to have a TWAB that is this short, not even acknowledging like any of the concerns. Like because Cross didn't just talk about microtransactions. Like he talked about a bunch of issues in Destiny 2, and they literally just, well, let's talk about fishing instead. That's what they did. And I mean, this is it's almost getting to a point where it's embarrassing for Bungie, because Bungie wasn't like this at one point. Bungie literally went corporate. Destiny 1, Bungie, I mean, yeah, they were a corporation, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it felt like in Destiny 1, and even in early Destiny 2, they did not go full corporate, right? They would talk about issues. They would talk about concerns players had in the community. They would talk about, a vast number of basically everything that's going on, with Destiny 2. And then as the years have gone on, TWABs are shorter. There's less, Bungie talks less and less about issues, outside of the known issues, which I'm looking at here. Oh, let me pull this up so y'all can see it as well. But the known issues here is like literally the biggest chunk that we have. Right, which this is embarrassing. This is literally the whole TWAB. Okay, you got this week in Destiny. Here's what we missed last week. Here's the stuff we're gonna dive into this week. Throne World fishing rallies. Okay, here's the fishing section. This is it. The Bungie Giving Festival. These two small paragraphs, and then the known issues here. That's it. That's all we get. After the week that Bungie just had with all the madness going on in the community, the content that's been created and brought forth by creators like Cross. Nothing, la 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 la. We don't see it. That's what they're doing, and it is a slap in players' faces. And I know I'm living in the past here, when I refer to Deej and stuff like that. But seriously, like Deej, when he was a community manager way back in D1, Cosmo when he was a community manager way back in D1, and I think a little bit of D2. These issues that are being brought up would not just be ignored flat out, right? I don't think that Bungie would have ever done a TWAB this short after the massive amount of controversy that's been going on this week. And that's just, in regards to microtransactions, like never mind all the other stuff. Bife did a video talking about the cutscene from this week, which I'm not going to spoil it, but that cutscene should have been in Lightfall. And it wasn't. It's a great cutscene. It's a fantastic cutscene. If you haven't played it yet, like I said, I won't spoil it, but go play the story mission from this week. It's fantastic. It explains a lot of really nice stuff that players have been curious about. But it should have been in Lightfall, and Bife discusses that in his video. And there's so much just madness going on in Destiny, and Bungie Like I said, they cover their eyes to it. They say, no, we are going to ignore it, blah, 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 blah. Not even going to bring it up, not going to touch on it, not going to talk about it, not going to even address it. And this is sadly becoming classic Bungie now, you know, and true, like traditional classic Bungie, like the old school Bungie, like back in 2014, 2015, wouldn't have done this. You know, they addressed issues that players had. You know, they would say, hey, you know, like we understand Eververse is wishy-washy, blah, 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 but you know, it's only going to be cosmetic, stuff like that. Like anytime there was an issue, from what I can remember, I don't do deep research into old TWABs and stuff, but from what I can remember, the community managers of D1 and the community managers of early D2, basically all the way up until I would say about Shadowkeep, when ironically is when kind of Bungie went more corporate with the whole seasonal pass thing, blah, blah, blah. You know, it always felt like they were open and honest with the player base. What happened? I mean, what changed? Why are we not getting that anymore? It's sad. It's really, really sad. And this is just, you know, this whole thing right here. The only thing they addressed on their Twitter as well was, of course, the fact that they inadvertently stole that fan art, basically, and I guess they accredited him, which they said, I think they said that they were going to do in here. Oh, no. Sorry, they did not mention it in the TWAB here, or the TWID, sorry, whatever it's called. They didn't mention it in the TWID, but yeah, they stole the artwork from an individual. They shouted him out on Twitter, said, hey, you know, we got it. We got this idea from so-and-so, blah, blah, or I think they even said, oh, the third party that made that cut scene. So they didn't even take like ownership of it, which to me blows my mind. And that's another thing I guess that we should talk about here is Bungie can't even take ownership for stealing an artist's work. You know, they blame a third party. Oh, you know, we had this third party, blah, 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 you know, that makes our cutscenes, and that's where it came from. Like, you're going to sit here and tell me that people at Bungie don't go over those cutscenes and review them and think, okay, like we should probably just double check everything, blah, blah, blah. Because apparently the whole controversy behind that is the third party company that made that cutscene that featured artwork from a fan or from a community member thought it was originally Bungie's artwork. Like they saw it or something. I don't really know how it all worked out, but they saw it or something, thought it was original Bungie artwork, and that's why they used it. Bungie apparently thought, okay, like, yeah, we're just going to trust them and go with it, you know, and use that, of course, in the, you know, in the final cut of the cutscene, you know, and they just blatantly ignored the fact that another user did it. And so this user on their Twitter posted and said, hey, I just realized Bungie stole my artwork that I did a couple years ago. And then, mind you, this artist made this portrait or not like this artwork 2 years ago, 3 years ago. 2020 is when they made it. They made it in 2020. So you can't tell me that Bungie's, you know, been sitting on this for what is it, 3 years now? No, I wouldn't buy that. So yeah, Bungie, you know, they stole this artist's work. Sorry, it's a little bit dark here. Let me just turn that up. They stole this artist's work and didn't give him credit for it. So then afterwards they gave him credit on Twitter. Personally, if I was the artist that did this, I would look into maybe even potentially like suing for his name to be put into Destiny somewhere. Like, I know that there's a way you can see credits in Destiny, you know, where you can see like, you know, the developers and stuff like that. I would almost say, hey, I want my name put in there. Like, if you're going to use my artwork, I want my name put on it. I want my name put in in Destiny, something like that. Give him hell about it. Seriously, give Bungie hell about it. That's what I would do. I would be beyond angry. And it's not just like, oh, you know, they accidentally did it. Like, no, like Bungie has dev after dev, I'm sure, that looks over these things, make sure they look good, make sure everything's, you know, appropriate, blah, 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 in Destiny 2. And so I think that it should have easily been able to be seen and found and say, hey, you know what, this is copied from somebody else. Let's use a different artwork, or let's reach out to the artist that did this. But yeah, I don't know. It's just Bungie being Bungie, I guess, at this point. You know, their lack of care. Don't care. Let's make sure we don't say anything about anything that's been going on. You know, and I don't blame the community managers. Mind you, like, I don't blame the community managers at all. So don't go tweeting at, you know, the community managers, because I know it's coming from higher up. They're being told, do not talk about this. Do not talk about, you know, the video that this individual made. Don't talk about this, that, and the other. I'm 100% sure of it, because the community managers, like, it's their job to be open and honest with the community. And I'm sure that's probably why a bunch of community managers have left. Like, I don't know about if y'all have noticed, but over the years, we've had like 8 or 9 different community managers, probably even more than that, you know, because it started with Deej. Deej goes, Cosmo comes in, Cosmo goes, DMG comes in, and it's like, okay, like, which one are we on now? How long is Hippie going to be there? And I don't even think Hippie's doing them anymore. Like, Hippie did like 3, and now it's it was like Bruno that did some or something, and now it's like Timon. Is that who? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, Timon. I don't know how you say it. You know, and it's like, I feel like the people at Bungie are getting in here. They're, oh, I'm gonna be a community manager. I'm gonna outreach to the community. You know, I'm gonna be a member. You know, help Destiny be a better game. And they're being told, nope, don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. You basically post what we want you to post, what we tell you to post, and that's it. And that's why they're quitting, and that's why they're, you know, being cycled in and out so fast. I really, really think that's what's going on. And I really, really hope that a community manager, like a former community manager, will reach out and confirm this, just so we can have our suspicions confirmed, because I'm sure I'm not the only person that thinks that, you know. With Deej, I feel like Deej probably did move on to something better, you know, in the company. Maybe he got, I don't really know what's going on in his life or anything. Same thing with Cosmo. But like, we're getting to a point now where, like I said, we're going through so many community managers. It's like, no, like, they're getting in there. They're realizing that they don't get to talk with the community. They get to convey information that's told to them by a, you know, board of executives or whatever it is. I don't really know the structure of Bungie, but I would assume that's kind of how it works. I don't know. It's mind-boggling, and quite frankly, this short of a TWAB after the hot week that we've had is unacceptable. This is nope. I don't agree with it. I don't believe it. Bungie, what the hell? Anyways, yeah, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content. Watch the video you see on the end screen now, because YouTube thinks you'll like it, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye for now, guys.